Do you know that feeling in late July where something in you simply stops? Not dramatically, not a collapse, just a quiet withdrawal. Like a light that has been dimming so gradually you did not notice until you reach for the switch and realize it is almost gone. You have been managing, keeping up, showing up, and then somewhere in the third week of July, you notice that managing is costing more than it used to. The effort required to be professional, to be present, to be functional, it has increased, and the return on that effort has decreased. That is not weakness. That is not burnout, though it can become burnout if ignored. That is not a sign that something has gone fundamentally wrong. That is 大暑, major heat, and your body is responding to it with absolute physiological precision. Today, I want to explain exactly what is happening inside you and why the most important thing you can do right now is to stop interpreting your body's response as a personal failure. July 22nd marks 大暑, major heat, the peak of the summer solar term, the most intense point in the year's thermal arc. We are now deep inside Sanfu. When I introduced this system in the last episode, I told you that 初伏 opened on July 15th. You have been in the first phase for 7 days. If those days have felt harder than a normal mid-July week, heavier, slower, less resilient, that is not coincidence. In 2 days on July 25th, 中伏 opens, the middle phase, and this year, 中伏 runs for 20 days, not the standard 10. The calendar extends the most intense stretch, 20 days of peak thermal load on the body, from July 25th through August 13th. If you have ever noticed that your body seems to give out in a specific window, not in June, not in early July, but somewhere in this stretch of late July into August, you have been noticing something real. Your body knows the calendar even when your mind has forgotten it. In Chinese medicine, 大暑 is associated with the heart and small intestine meridians. These are the organ systems most active and most vulnerable at this point in the year. The heart in TCM governs much more than the physical pump in your chest. It governs what is called 神, the spirit, the consciousness, the quality of mental and emotional presence. 神 is what makes you feel like yourself. It is the coherence between who you are inside and how you appear in the world. When heart energy is depleted by heat, you feel it in a very specific sequence. First, restlessness, a low-grade agitation, difficult settling, the sense that you cannot quite find a comfortable position, physically or emotionally. Then, difficulty concentrating, thoughts that scatter before they complete, tasks that require more pauses than usual, and then the one that is hardest to name, a kind of emotional rawness, things that would normally slide off you catch and hold. Minor frustrations feel disproportionately heavy. You are not yourself, and you know it, but you cannot locate exactly what has shifted. Does that describe your late July? This is heart qi depletion under summer heat. It is not a mental health diagnosis. It is not a character flaw. It is a seasonal physiological pattern that Chinese medicine has been documenting and treating for 2,000 years. The reason it often goes unaddressed in professional women is precisely because we are so practiced at performing functionality regardless of internal state. We show up. We deliver. We do not complain. And so the quiet depletion accumulates, unacknowledged, until it has grown into something much harder to recover from. Here is the central principle for understanding what happens in Zhongfu. Extreme and prolonged heat consumes yin floods and exhausts qi simultaneously. Yin floods, the cooling, moistening, nourishing substance in our body, are your primary buffer against heat. They are what keep your joints smooth, your skin hydrated, your mind calm, your sleep deep and unbroken. Under ordinary summer heat, your body can replenish these floods through food, rest, and natural rhythms of the day. Under Zhongfu, 20 days of peak thermal pressure, the depletion outerspaces the replenishment. This is not a failure of your self-care. It is mathematics. For women over 45, this is compounded by the natural decline of midlife that we have discussed in earlier episodes. Your cooling reserve is already working harder than it used to. Add 20 days of Zhongfu on top, and you understand. Perhaps for the first time why late July and early August feel the way they do. Not because you are doing something wrong, because you are carrying a greater thermal load than your body was designed to carry out without specific intentional support. And here is what matters most. What happens in Zhongfu does not simply end when August arrives. The depletion accumulates, it carries forward. Many of the women I speak with describe hitting a second wall in September, exhausted in a way that feels entirely disproportionate to the autumn workload. They are not wrong. They are still recovering from Zhongfu. The recovery that, for these 20 days, if unaddressed, follows you into the season when you most need your energy back. This is not a supplement protocol. It is food, lotus seeds, lily bulb, pear, eaten raw or gently poached, moonbeams, which you have been preparing since 小暑, white fungus, 银耳, in a simple broth. These are the foods that Chinese medicine has prescribed for exactly this pattern for centuries. They are not exotic, they are precise. Each of them has specific yin-nourishing, heart-calming properties that work with your body's current needs. One of these, once a day, through 中服, that is the practice. Protect the heart through genuine stillness. Not a meditation app, not a podcast, including this one. 5 minutes each day of actual silence. Sitting outside if possible, in the cooler hours of morning or evening. Not doing, not processing, simply allowing the nervous system to find its own flow. The heart nourishes itself in stillness. We have largely forgotten this. 中服 is a forced reminder. Adjust your training. Do not abandon it. This is important because the answer to exhaustion is not always rest. The body still needs movement, but the movement needs to change in quality. During 中服, avoid training in peak heat between 11 a.m. and 4 p.m. if possible. Reduce intensity to 65 to 70% of your usual load. Prioritize movement that is cooling and consolidating rather than heating and dispersing. Swimming, if you have access. Slow walking in shade. The gentle sequences of 八段锦. These are not substitutes for strength training. They are medicine for this specific 20-day window. The strength work resumes properly in autumn. 立秋 is coming. If you are experiencing the heart qi depletion pattern I described, the muted pleasure, the slight distance from yourself, the emotional rawness, I want to offer you something that is both simple and genuinely useful. Name it internally. This is heart qi depletion, 中服. This has a season. It ends. This is not positive thinking. It is accurate thinking. The pattern has a physiological cause, a known duration, and a specific response. Naming it correctly interrupts the secondary layer of suffering. The story we tell ourselves about what the flatness means about us, and leaves only the primary experience, which is hard enough on its own. 大暑 is the year's most demanding moment, and you are inside it. If you are feeling the weight of this season, the tiredness that sleep does not fully repair, the flatness, the sense of running on reserves you cannot replenish quickly enough, I want you to hear this clearly. that experience is real. It has a name. It has a logic. It has a response. You are not feeling summer. You are inside 中伏. There is a difference. Next episode, we reach 立秋, the start of autumn, August 7th. We will still be inside 末伏 when that day arrives, the final phase of 三伏. And I want to explain the particular quality of that threshold. Summer still burning, autumn already beginning underneath it. The body navigating two seasons simultaneously. It is the most interesting moment in the year. And for women over 45, it carries an invitation that I do not want you to miss. Until then, one in-nourished food each day, 5 minutes of silence, train gently, and know that the turning is already in motion, even if you cannot feel it yet.